Hey everyone! So you know how everyone is been talking about the power of machine learning with ChatGPT? Well, I didn't want to be left behind in this exciting new space. I decided to set out on a mission to create a WordPress plugin that estimates project costs using ChatGPT and see how easy or difficult it would be. So, armed with my loud keyboard and a curious mind, I started diving into the world of plugin development. I had some experience with WordPress development, but I had never used AI to develop a plugin before. With the help of the ChatGPT API and some basic PHP knowledge, I was able to create a fully functional plugin that estimates the cost of a project based on user input. As I was building the plugin, I decided to document the entire process on my YouTube channel to share my experience with others who might be interested in developing a plugin with ChatGPT. In this video, you will get a behind-the-scenes look at the entire process. So let's get started. Okay, so I start off by asking ChatGPT for a WordPress plugin template, and it quickly spit out valid PHP code with explanation and comments. Then the next logical step is how I can install it. And that's exactly what I did. How can I install the plugin? It gave me step-by-step instructions. Insane. Okay, so I blindly followed the steps by zipping the file and then uploading it through the WordPress admin dashboard. At this point, I encountered an error about missing file or something. So what do? I asked ChatGPT, and sure enough, it solved that too. It basically told me to create the file. Since I'm using it to do all the work, I asked it to generate that file too, and it did. Now all I had to do was to put it in the right place and we are set. After doing all that, I went ahead and activated the plugin and it worked. I would say that took very minimum effort. Then the next logical question is, how can I see the plugin or how can I use it on a website? And that's exactly what I did. I asked ChatGPT, how can I use the plugin? It laid out the steps very clearly on how to create a new page and simply add the shortcode. So that's what I did. I created a new page and then went ahead and added the shortcode for the plugin. I added a h1 tag just to make sure I'm hitting the plugin, and it all seems to be working fine up to this point. Then it was time to call this page from the main page of my website. I had already created an estimate project button, so I simply pointed it to the plugin. After all this, it was time to take some fields add some fields to the plugin. And after all, it's a cost estimator, and we want user to input fields like budget, timeline, and any special features. So I asked ChatGPT for this, and it produced nicely formatted code. And it also put it in a form. How cool is that? Okay, so that's all dandy, but where do I put the form? Well, let's ask ChatGPT. Not only did it create the form, but also provided a handler function. I mean, what the what? So I copied the form and simply pasted it into the plugin file. I guess future programmers would have to master the skill of copy and paste. It was time to test out the form and it looks ugly. So let's ask ChatGPT to put some makeup on it and off it goes. Alright, that looks much better. Okay, now we take the form submission handler function and add it to the plugin file. Stupid me, I added the form tag twice and that wasted so much time. I would submit the form, but it wasn't going anywhere. I guess we humans are already getting stupid. If I was coding this myself, I would have been more careful, but since I was just copying and pasting, I had to suffer the consequences. Anyways, then I proceeded to ask it to generate the cost calculation function. It exceeded my expectations on this one. It clearly took budget, timeline and special features into account as if you were telling a real person and they were outlining it for you. Okay, so the timeline feature needed some help, so as in how would user know to input like 1 to 3 months, etc. So I asked ChatGPT to fix that, and boy, it did. Okay, after all this, we need to show users the estimated cost. After all, it's a cost estimator, right? So let's ask ChatGPT for that. How can I show the calculated cost to the user? And it starts. Then I asked it to give me code for a form submission, but for a function in a class. Okay, and it knows how we need to post to admin-post.php, and then it takes it from there. Very nice and amazing. After this was time to beautify the final output. The way it looks is very boring. So ChatGPT did a nice one styling the output. Here I didn't follow the AI, but instead did a shortcut since that was easier. At least one place where I used my developer knowledge. It would be nice to turn the special features into a select or drop down, so let's do that. It also added an input field, not sure why, but I had to get rid of it. It also then asked me to fix the function where we read this field. I think this is one of those things that freaks you out but also excites you. I went about changing the code to replace the text area with a select, and also modified the code in the project calculation function to what ChatGPT asked me to do. Since the options got changed, I had to then go in and change the options in the cost estimation function. It would be nice to display the options user selected on the output page. And that's exactly what I did. And with a tiny modification, we have now the user options showing on the output page. I mean, wow. So there you have it, a fully functional WordPress plugin created entirely using ChatGPT. This can entirely be enhanced, but as you can see, it already gave us a very good starting point. I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Oh, and some of the script was also generated by ChatGPT. Bye now.